Greetings, Sigma. This is Alex, aka Maxwell Bridgewater, aka Alejandro, aka Sigma Spirit. Welcome to Sigma Spirit, the world's greatest channel for Sigma males who want to understand the infinite well of their masculine Sigma spirit. Today we're going to talk about strengths. A lot of you have some Sigma male qualities about you, and maybe you don't understand them. Maybe you think that they're not strengths. Maybe right now you think that you have a bunch of weaknesses and you can't tap into your strength. So this video is going to be entirely about why each of these Sigma male qualities is actually a super strength. It's a super skill. And it's actually a skill that you can develop. So each of your traits, you might have trouble understanding. That's probably why you're on this channel, because you don't understand yourself. And that's okay, because the video's purpose today is for you to reframe and get perspective on each of these qualities so you can really understand the power of being a Sigma male. Let's begin. Number 1, independence. Something like independence can give you such a clear, untainted view of the world. And when you're independent, you are free to desire and want and do things without influence from other things. If you're independent, you're less likely to be manipulated. You're less likely to be marketed. And you're less likely to do things for the wrong reasons. When you have a certain level of independence, you're free to do things without the need for reassurance and validation, pats on the back, things like that. And I think that's why independence is such a pivotal part of being a Sigma male. Because once you're a Sigma male, you remove yourself from the social structure. You take a step back. You gain independence from this hierarchy. And when you're independent from the hierarchy and you don't need this validation, you don't need the status, you don't need the reassurance, you don't need the little emotional pats on the back, hey, you're doing a great job, then you can really start to do things that you want to do and you can follow your heart. Number 2, your mystery. So a Sigma male's mystery is like a Rubik's Cube that people will become obsessed with. They will be obsessed with the idea of solving the Rubik's Cube of your personality. People will see that you have a depth about you, that you have cracks within you that they'll want to dive into and explore. And I think that's why being a Sigma male is so awesome sometimes, because people are drawn to you, and they're drawn to you in very authentic ways, because they want to know what's in that deep spirit. What about that Sigma spirit is so attractive to people? People will love this about you. In a world full of superficial and shallow behavior, a little bit of depth can go a really long way. Number 3, being introverted. In today's world, being introverted comes with a lot of misconceptions about it. So it does not mean that you hate people. It does not mean that you have a social disorder. Being introverted only means that you need time alone in order to re-energize. And there are varying degrees to being introverted. Most people are not 100% introverted. In fact, most people still need to be socially connected to other people, no matter how introverted they are. But introversion and social connection looks different for everybody. But the strengths of being an introvert comes from the fact that you've learned to spend time with yourself. You've learned to generate good feelings in solitude. Most people can't spend time alone with themselves because they hate themselves. But as a Sigma male, you've learned to enjoy yourself more than other people because of your introverted nature. If you master this skill, you're one step closer to some form of enlightenment and definitely some spiritual evolution. Number 4, intuitive and sensitive. So sensitive and attractive don't always seem hand in hand. When you talk to people about what is attractive in a man, what's attractive in a Sigma male. But I'll tell you, being a sensitive person is actually very attractive. Good leadership comes from empathy. Almost all great leaders have to care about their people first before they can care about themselves. And that only comes from a place of sensitive empathy. In today's callous world, a little bit of social empathy and social intelligence, emotional intelligence, that stuff can go a really long way. It can help you a lot understand people and navigate the world. And it also helps people attract to you. Being socially calibrated, socially sensitive, emotionally intelligent is magnetic for people, because most people in today's world are struggling socially. They have some social disconnect, and many people actually have some sort of social anxiety or social disorder. This happens for various reasons. Could be screen time or excessive porn usage or things like that, but men have become less socially intelligent. If you harness this ability of your social intuition, your perceptive abilities, your sensitivity, your emotional intelligence, it'll be like you're wearing X-ray goggles and you can read a room. You can read the entire world because you can read people. Number 5, rebellious. So it's becoming more obvious that the world has turned into a weird place. I don't want to place a lot of value judgments on the world, but we've gone down some paths that maybe we shouldn't have gone down, and the world has changed. A lot of people will say that society is completely bankrupt and morally incorrect and destroyed, and we need to build a new social system. So your ability to be a little bit of a rebel and to understand that there might be another way to do things is a great strength as a Sigma male. And I think that people like alpha males, they can never understand what it's like to be rejected from a society or to intentionally step back from a social structure and be able to look at it for what it is. So your ability to rebel actually gives you an objectivity and awareness to look at the world in a fresh lens. And I think the world needs some rebels right now. So that rebellious behavior, that rebellious attitude that's common as a Sigma male is actually going to be a great strength in the coming years. Your ability to break the rules and create a new rule book will actually be something that is going to be valued for years, decades, centuries. As long as you lead and as long as you break these rules with empathy and you do it with some sort of compassion for other people. Break the system, not people. Number 6, analytical and judgmental. While this feeling, this trait might feel like you're just spending a lot of time in your head, it's actually going to give you a great advantage in being one step ahead of people. Being judgmental and observant and analytical will also help you make snap decisions very quickly, and you can quickly move through problems faster than other people. Number 7, depth and intelligence. So deep people are always more interesting than shallow people. Sorry, that's just how it is. And intelligent people typically do better in life and find more success than dumber people. But the problem is, many Sigma males feel like they don't know how to apply their intelligence. So if you take this deep well of intelligence and you find a way, you find an avenue in which you can apply it, then this trait you have is actually an incredible strength. A lot of Sigma males might judge their own intelligence and think, oh, society doesn't value my intelligence. Society actually values dumb people or good-looking people. But it's not true. You just haven't found the avenue. You haven't found the way in which you're going to be rewarded for your intelligence. Number 8, being quiet. So this is a controversial one. How could being quiet be a strength? But I think being quiet allows you to focus on your own personality and your own character traits more than if you were talking very loudly. There's an infinite depth within you, and when you're quiet, you're able to develop that. Louder people just don't have that depth. Having strong character traits, qualities within you, will always take you further than anything superficial, like being the loudest person on Twitter. Number 9, self-reliance. It's such an amazing quality to be self-reliant, because look at the flip side. Nothing is more disgusting and desperate than someone who needs you or they need something. Neediness is so gross, but as a Sigma male, you are self-reliant, and maybe you haven't learned how to tap into the power of being self-reliant. But look at today's world right now. Today's world has shown us that we can't always rely on these big systems to help us. Can't even always rely on the people around you. So there's only really one person you can rely on. But you have to understand that self-reliance comes with a caveat. It comes with a warning. You can't do everything on your own. Self-reliance also means you know when it's time to ask for help. And when you can do that while maintaining self-reliance, that becomes a super skill. Your confidence will become enormous, and you'll have a lot of self-trust. When you can trust yourself fully, completely, your self-esteem will be so high. And the last one, number 10, being different. Being different, why is this a Sigma male quality? Why is it a strength? This really comes down to self-satisfaction. This really comes down to your own quality of life. When you're a Sigma male, when you're a man of strong Sigma spirit, you're able to step back from the mainstream, the groupthink, and you're able to figure out what you like to do on your own. When you're free from the influences of other people telling you what you like, for example, Major League Football or basketball or this show or that show. 80% of people like 20% of the things, Pareto's principle. But when you're a Sigma male, you step back and you start to decide, I don't really like that. I actually like to go for long walks. I don't like to watch basketball. I actually like to read books, or I like to paint. When you're able to step back like that and look at your own interests, your own desires, you can decide what you want to do. So maybe you like to take walks, or you like to climb mountains, or you like to run ultra marathons, or maybe you like jujitsu, things like that. It's always going to be better when you decide what you like for your own self. When you allow yourself to be different, then you become more authentic. And when you are authentic, people will want to be with you more, and you will enjoy being with yourself more. That's why I think this is a Sigma male strength, because being different allows you to love yourself. So those are the top 10 strengths of a Sigma male. I hope this helped you reframe and give you perspective into how a seemingly innocuous trait can actually be a super strength. It can be your key to success, fulfillment, and happiness in life. So I have a question for you. What strength do you want to build right now? What ability do you want to harness and make it into a super skill? What's that thing that you've been hiding from? What's that thing that you don't understand? I want you to tell me right now in the comments. This has been Sigma Spirit, telling you all about why you're stronger than you believe. Make sure you subscribe so you can have mastery over your Sigma male self. Thanks for watching this Sigma Spirit video.